what a deal, what a deal. Hey guys, it's Jax, and I've got a problem. Morning number 2. Tell you what, a little word to the wise, a little tip of the tip. You use one of these parking lots of these little tiny places, be sure you go in the morning and give them a little support. Had a nice little chat with the gals. Gotta make one stop at Ace Hardware before we get going now. I'll explain in a little bit. I got to pick up a little extension cord, and I need a little bit of like the smallest space heater they make. Just like that, you find yourself here with me. Guys, we got a lot of stuff to get done here in the next handful of days, all right? I'm gonna give you a little rundown on what's going on. So, more or less, the cattle deal has gotten pretty slow. There's still enough work for a couple of the guys to kind of have a steady deal going out of Montana. But when it gets to be that slow, I like to step away if I can and let the owner-operators have all the work that comes in. Kind of remove myself from the cattle equation, right? So where does that leave us? With this guy. The first trip is down and done and complete. We went from Billings, Montana, down to Anthony. Hey, ironically, that's the same truck that was driving around earlier when I was trying to make a video. I got a little grease on me. Anyway, down here to Anthony, New Mexico. Unloaded some sulfur fertilizer. That's what you saw a little earlier going down. And now we've got a lot of trucking to do, okay? I kind of have about a 2-week window that I'm out here on the road. So we've already come down here to New Mexico, unloaded. We're booking it back up to Raton so that I can load some lava rock to take up to Sioux Falls, South Dakota. From Sioux Falls, man, I am dirty. I was working on my truck. These car haulers are they just don't want me to video you guys. Little buggers. There they go. Wow, another one. Gotta love them car haulers. Anyhow, so we're gonna haul rock from Raton up to Sioux Falls, and then I got to reload up around Sioux Falls, and we're going deep. We're going to Georgia. We're going to Madison, Georgia. From Madison, Georgia, we're gonna reload next week. and we are gonna boogie it on back up to South Dakota. And then when we get to South Dakota, I'm gonna reload something and get it back to Montana in time for the weekend, all right? So there you have it. That's the recap. That's where we're going. That's the direction. Let's get a move on. First stop, Border Patrol checkpoint, baby. Well, I got nothing on me, illegal or otherwise, so this should be smooth. You know, I'm just about ready. I'm just about to it here, but I've been at one of these before. I hauled a load of sheep up from El Centro, California to, where'd I go? Greeley, Colorado. And there was a checkpoint I went through down in the desert, down in somewhere in California. It was just a go on by kind of a deal. So we'll see. Hopefully I don't get the cavity search. Not even anybody in there. Everybody's just rolling through. Hey, look at that thing cooking. Oh yeah. Anyway.
Keep trying again.
Good morning, my people. I'm here at Red Hill Lava Products in Raton, New Mexico. All that you see, that is all lava rock. My camera is doing no justice to the size of that mountain. It's probably 5 stories tall. A lot of rock. So this particular area anciently had volcanic activity. Must have been a lot of massive eruptions. And this place, they more or less mine it. They, break it apart into big chunks, bring it in on, big trucks. They process it and crush it down to varying sizes. This would be like the stuff some people still do. A lot of people did back in the day, in the 90s and early 2000s, used a lot of this stuff for landscaping in their flower beds, if you remember that. It's used a lot in bricks and things like that. They also use it there to do a little color work with some bricks and things like that. This particular load is going all the way up to Sioux Falls, South Dakota. I got a lot of trucking to do today and tonight, so I'm a little bit in a hurry. I've been here for about 15 minutes, parked at the ramp. See the guy in the loader over there? He's having some issues with some material frozen in his bucket. And I think he's worried about dumping. If it breaks loose, it'll dump from his bucket into my trailer. The stuff that I'm hauling right now is that, 2-inch sized, pretty coarse lava rock. I don't like hauling this stuff in my hopper, you guys. It is my least favorite product of all. I'm going to just say it's my least favorite product of all, for sure. The reason why, it's really abrasive. So it will kind of sandblast the inside of your trailer when it's coming out. The other thing is that you have to dump it out the bottom of your trailer onto the ground like a belly dump would in a construction zone, and then drive over it. But this particular trailer, I'm not doing that. I'm not sure how I'm gonna do it yet, but I'm gonna figure something different out over there when I get to Sioux Falls. The front axle on this trailer has airbags, so when you're empty, it lifts the front axle up, and those airbags are exposed, which normally is fine going down the highway. But if I dump this lava rock out the bottom and then drive up on top of it, all that rock is gonna run along my airbags, my lift airbags, and I can't have that. So I think I'm gonna have to get creative and unload it, let it fall out, and then back up so that my trailer stays ahead of the product that's coming out. and then kind of jackknife my truck so that my truck doesn't have to try to drive over it. It's gonna be interesting, but we'll figure it out. There's always a way, right? Good to go. I even coaxed him into some extra weight. On these loads, you know, we get paid by the ton. So the more weight, the more pay. Like, we usually don't go over 48,000 pounds, 24 ton. I was like, no, I need like 27 ton. They're like, I'm like, guys, New Mexico on certain routes is legal to 86.5. We just usually do 50 though, or 48 to 50,000 pounds equals 80,000 gross, which is the max allowed back east and out, west coast, California type Arizona. Anyway, so I coaxed them in. Though I got, I think I ended up with like 54,000. Not my max weight allowed out in our states, but that'll end up being about $300 extra, $250 more for this load, which, that's half the fuel cost to get up to where I'm going. So I'll take it. And the reason I'm out of breath is because I crawled up just to double check, make sure everything was okay before I closed my tarp. And he had mounted the lava rocks up so high in one spot that the tarp wouldn't be able to roll over and close. So I had to jump in the back and kick the rocks down and level it out. And it's a mine, so it's MSHA, which is the mining, it's like OSHA for mines. And of course, climbing into your trailer on a mine is frowned upon. So, but I did it with nobody watching me, and no MSHA auditors were around. It's literally something you do on the farm and ranch and any grain elevator in the United States every single day, all day long. But you know how the agencies are. So that little baby there is a volcano. See the top of it blown off? It's a little state park. Probably will never get the time to check that baby out, but there it is. Well, we made it, y'all. Here we are, update from the road, TCC Materials in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Apparently I was not the only guy loading lava rock. So this is how it works. And I can't stand doing this, but this is how it works. You open up your hopper and you let it run out and you drive over it. See that? Kind of straddle the windrow. Now, what I'm worried about with my trailer is that the front axle on my trailer, it's a lift axle. So when I'm empty, my front axle lifts up and my back axle lifts up. So I only have one axle on the ground to save on, tire wear. The downside of this in this particular situation is that there's two little sets of airbags that inflate to lift up, okay? And lift that axle up. Those airbags are on the front of the axle. They're on the front of the front axle, so they're kind of exposed. And I'm a little worried about whether or not they're gonna receive some damage as we start dumping. So I may try to do something a little different here if they'll allow it, if I got kind of time to try to figure it out. I might try to back up. See, when these guys unload, they back way back around the corner and then they pull forward and drive over it. But what I'm talking about, if you can see the green paint? I'm gonna try to point to this. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Right there, right off the tip of my finger, the green paint on that axle. That's where my little lift airbags hang down right there. And I'm curious or worried that they're gonna get drugged through the rocks. I'm not sure. I've never done it with this trailer. And I don't want to tear it up because it's nice and fresh and new and sweet. So what I might do instead, I might start my pile like right here and back up. That way it's coming out and I'm gonna back, but I'm not gonna back over it. I'm gonna jackknife my truck just a little bit and then drive my truck alongside the pile. So the trailer's dumping, truck is jackknifed a little bit to get around the pile so I don't have to try to back over it. See how his truck's parked right up against that? You can't drive your truck over the pile. So I would jackknife a little bit to get my truck on that side of the pile. So these driver's side wheels will be driving just alongside the far side of the windrow over there. Does that make sense? I'm gonna try that. If I just really don't want to wreck these airbags on my truck. So we will try that and see what shakes. Oh goodness, you guys. My eyeballs are burning out. What a mess. What a mess. We'll have to go find a sink somewhere, I think. A sink, I think, even though I can't see. I'm still making rhyme. Oh, okay. So an update for you. My idea worked flawlessly. I backed up. I wish I could have filmed it all. Unfortunately, it was extremely hectic there. There were several other trucks that had loaded rock as well. They were unloading. And the reason this was also horrible was because all the dust that was loaded with the rock was holding moisture in from a little bit of snow, and it froze on the trip up here. So the product wouldn't run out. We ended up having to, when I say we, there is no mouse in my pocket. I'm talking about this hand. That's we and me. Ended up having to shovel so much of that out. It took almost 2 hours. And you can only shovel till dumps out on the ground and fills up, and you got to pull the truck forward to create some more room. So in and out of the hopper 100 times, shoveling, and it's all frozen. I did the best I could, got 98% of it out. Probably 1,000 pounds of dust and rock in my trailer still. So for my next load, I have to come to a washout and get a good washout. I get to the washout here, and there's a line all the way around the building, clear out to the road and down the road. Actually, now I have to go about 4 hours from here to get reloaded. It is 11 o'clock right now. If I'm not there by 4:30, they won't load me, and if I'm not loaded by 4:30, then I don't have a load for the weekend. And there's a big storm blowing into South Dakota, so it could go two ways. It could be really good, and everything falls together, and I just get there in time to get loaded. And then tonight, there's a big icy winter storm blowing in across South Dakota and whatnot. So if I can get loaded and get out of there, I can get ahead of this and get down south enough to get out of it. But if not, I'm gonna end up getting stuck out here and having to sit through a storm, which I'm not very excited about when I have things to do at home. So anyway, you feel me. That volcano dust, that was the other thing. So you're in there shoveling and that wind comes up through the bottom of your trailer and just blows dust up. Anyway, it's just a lot of dust. And apparently, the first time you rub your eyes, it activates the dust. So enough complaining. I'm dusty, I'm burning. I'm in line. I'm hoping I can get out of here within the next hour. If I can get out of here by noon, I'll have a chance, but it's gonna be really tight. All that hard pushing I did, you guys have driven my guts out since I left home. And it all might fall apart because there's a line at the washout. I hate when my schedule gets that tight, but that's just how it is sometimes. Okay, I'll keep you posted. Y'all, we're getting up. This is a horse trailer in front of me, obviously, and then this is a 6-bay washout. So there's got to be another door cracking open here pretty quick. Pretty quick. I got to tell you a funny story though about this washout. It's come a long way since the old days. Back in the old days, you guys, it was not enclosed. It was just an outdoor open air washout, okay? So at that time, and this is how most washouts are, they just have drive-through bays. So you come in off Cliff Avenue, you swing around and you pull through. And Rooster only washed out 2 times a year. That was it. All the rest of the times he shoveled out. I didn't even know there was such a thing as a washout, except for when we'd come here twice a year, and I was like, oh yeah. And those 2 times that he did wash out was he'd haul hogs out here, and then he'd come get a night. Oh, here's the door opening up. Sweet. That's gonna put me next in line. So there was I'm gonna pull up. He'd haul hogs out here to Sioux Falls, unload at the stockyards there across from John Morrell, and then he'd come here and get washed out good, and then he'd load watermelons at a Hooterite colony here, and we'd take back to Montana and he'd sell. So he'd wash out for that, and then he'd wash out another time when he'd backhaul pumpkins. We'd come here and pull around, and at the time, instead of having actual doors you drive in, they were just cement drive-through bays. So you drive in, they had a little bit of an uphill slant. In fact, I think inside of the building is the original concrete and everything. I think they just built a building over the old pad, from what it looks like to me. But anyway, nice old guy and his wife that used to run the place. And so when Rooster would pull in, he'd go to washing out, I would sit in the office because I was like, 6 years old, not like I'm gonna be able to run a fire hose for old Roost, right? Well, back at that time, we had a keyboard that we traveled, took AA batteries. It took like 8 AA batteries, and I would sit over on the passenger seat and I would play. I've always been able to play piano really well by ear. Can't read the notes hardly at all, but I can just hear things and play. So I'd play and plink along over there. Well, this little keyboard had a demo song, and the demo song was Last Christmas, Da, na, 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 the very next day you gave it away. This year to save me from tears. You know that song? That was the demo song. So while I was in there one day, I thought, I'm gonna play a trick on this little guy. And this is me at 6 years old. I push the demo button and I start playing with my fingers. And this little guy is just blown away. Thinks that I'm some kind of piano wizard. To this day, I've always wondered, was he just letting me go because he knew it made me feel good? And I've asked Rooster about it, and he said, no, Rooster's convinced that guy really believed that I was playing. Always did. So we never told him. But he even brought his wife in. He's like, come listen to this. This is crazy. Do it again. So I pushed the button. Anyway, it was pretty awesome. Pretty good time, you guys. Fun memories here at the old washout. I've been coming to Sioux Falls since I was a baby. Rooster potty trained me on the truck. That's how much trucking I did with Rooster when I was a little fella. So it's always fun to come back, do a little reminiscing. It's me again. Oh man, y'all, about 4 o'clock. Guess what? Did you ever doubt me for even a second? Were you kind of thinking? Because there was a little moment there where I was like, I don't know. We made it. Right over there. I can see it from here. There's my sunflower seeds just waiting. Somewhere in Georgia, they're just waiting on a truck to show up Monday, and that truck's gonna be me. Woo! We did it. The next step of this, I'll explain after we get loaded. Hey y'all, wow, we're loaded up. That took all of about 8 minutes. Guy had a great sense of humor. I love that. He told me to give my trailer it's called a shakedown, all right? That is where you pull out, make sure you put it in neutral so you don't jam your transmission. And you hit your brakes really hard. And it shakes the load, those seeds will jostle down. Sunflower seeds are so light that you have to just stuff it to the gills and you still don't even quite make your weight. So anyway, that's what we did, and we'll go get an official weigh out and kind of see where we're sitting here. I was gonna try to get some footage of it filling up, but they're going so doggone fast that it was like, nope. We're just gonna get this squared around. I'm kind of failing you so far on getting unload footage. I apologize, but it has just been a mad scramble. So hopefully we get into next week's stuff and it'll work out a little better. Here's some good old boys from Yackley Farms. Anyway, yeah, next week I'll try to kind of set up, get the GoPro out, do some time lapses, that kind of stuff to give you some of the idea of what's going on. But this week has just been by the skin of my teeth. Everywhere I go, it's like, So anyway, this is good. I will climb up here. I'm going to weigh out, and then I'll climb up and give you a little shot so you can see what these seeds. This is my third load of sunflower seeds that I've hauled over the years. Well, I shouldn't say over the years. Over the last couple years. First one went to Indiana. Second one went to Pennsylvania. Third one's going to Georgia. Madison, Georgia. Place for another. Check this out. So this tarp, my other trailer that I pull in previous videos, the black one, has an electric tarp, but it doesn't have a remote, so you open and close it from out there. This one has a, oh, there's some light, push closed, so it's closing the tarp now while I'm running, which is kind of nice because the trailer's so full right now. You'll be able to see it drop over the edge here in a second. The trailer's so full of sunflower seeds, you might see a few spill over the edge. This way I can do it out county road. Come on, baby, where you at? There it comes. See that? I don't know if you gotta see it. It's kind of hard to see, but anyway, the magic of modern world. Plus, yeah, hello. Yeah, it's Jack's got a big load of sunflower seeds coming at you. Yeah. See you Monday. That's right up Rooster's alley there, the old flip phone, true and blue. All right, well, I think it's 1,500 miles out of here. So the next challenge, you guys, I mentioned that a second ago. The next challenge we're going to face now is that there is a blizzard warning, basically from Mitchell, South Dakota down to Sioux City. It is about 4:45 right now. It's not supposed to set in until a little later. So I need to really watch my map. I have about an hour to decide, or less. I got about half an hour to figure out if I'm going to go straight south on the 2 lanes all the way down to I-70 in Kansas, Or if I'm gonna, well, you might even go further south, clear into Oklahoma. I don't know. I kind of just need to do some homework and see where exactly the storm's headed, what direction, what it's doing. I really need a good, restful, calm, go to bed when I want to go to bed, wake up when I want to wake up, kind of a night to night. Been a pretty hectic, stressful couple days running hard, so I need that. But I can't get that if I know that by parking somewhere too far north, I'm going to wake up in the midst of a crazed blizzard. I mean, I can handle the blizzard, of course, but if you don't need to go through it, don't go through it, man. There's no way. There's just no reason. So I'm gonna see. So weight-wise, what we got on, sunflower seeds, you guys, are super light. This is actually a pretty high capacity trailer. It has taller sides. I forget what Wilson's, each manufacturer has their own little setting, but they're like 82, what's Wilson, 83-inch sides on this trailer, which is a kind of a high capacity side. A lot of corn trailers and stuff like that have sidewall height in the 70s instead of in the 80s. But we haul a lot of these lighter commodities, so we make sure that we get a trailer that's, you know, not crazy high. Actual sunflower trailers have like 90-inch sides or something, just these huge tall-sided hopper trailers. Anyway, so I stuffed it. That clip you saw, that's called railing it, where you're filling it side to side, rail to rail, front to back. So you rail the trailer all the way full, and I still am only grossing just like not quite 78,000 pounds, which means I got about 46,500 pounds on, which stinks. I'm getting paid by the hundredweight, by the pound basically. So by not being able to, I'm not up to 80,000 pounds. You know, I'm a couple thousand pounds short, so that means I'm about $200 shy of what I could have made on this load, but I have no more capacity, so there's nothing I can do. You know, sometimes we're on the other end of that, and we're like, oh man, I got all kinds of room still, because if the product is really heavy, it won't take up a lot of room. But this product is extremely light. The lava rocks kind of in between. This product here, extremely light. So here we are. The upside is that I don't even need to put my back axle down on my trailer. I'm just a tick heavy on my trailer with the axle up, but it's so minute that I would rather leave the axle up for a couple reasons. One, I don't wear those tires down all the way down to Georgia on the back axle, and two, when your back axle's up, you look very much like you're empty going down the road, so you're going to draw less ire from prying eyes. We'll just start calling them that, prying eyes. So, all right, let's settle in. I'm gonna dig out, see what this storm is. I'm gonna stop up here and just check things over, make sure everything looks tidy and correct before we venture. And at that point, I'll decide where we're going. Most of you, well, not most of you, some of you have seen this stuff before, but that's what the tarp's like, rolled over the top. Everything's covered over, pulls it down nice and tight, and that's how she'll ride down to Georgia. There's a few humps and stuff in it, see? That's where the product's still kind of stacked up. That'll shake down as we go down the road. Anyway, hey guys, see me there? Yeah, just out here YouTubing. Yeah. Here's the question. Am I out here YouTubing? Or am I out here trucking? Which one is it? Am I trucking for YouTube? Or is YouTube along for the trucking? Chicken or the egg? Oh, baby. Scabbing in the cabin. Woo. He's out working hard. didn't wash my windows because I'm going to be right back into the salt brine here in no time. But anyway, that guy's out working hard doing trash. I just took a minute to chat him up. I'm in Plankinton, South Dakota, and chatted about the roads a little bit. When's the storm coming in? Think I'm going to make it past. You could tell that it meant a lot to him. So just a little reminder to you. Just a little kind word or two goes a long ways to some folks out there that are doing some of the jobs that are not super savory. Also, this last tank of fuel, I averaged 6.2. So I got 6.2 from Montana going down to Anthony. My last tank that had quite a few empty miles wrapped into it. It did. That tank was it 7.4? And then this fill up here was 6.2 again. And it had a lot of really nasty headwind miles in it. So far pretty good. I just didn't know what to expect with this rig because we put this engine together, you know, me and old Jimbo Dean, and first time pulling this trailer, so we're just figuring it out. But it's looking right now like this load will be interesting because it's light, and I got to kind of hammer down to get ahead of this storm, hopefully. But I don't know. Kind of thinking this rig is going to be getting between 6.2 and 7.5, depending on what kind of country we're running in and how big the loads are. It's kind of an average, so we'll take that any day for an old 23-year-old engine. All that old technology. The whole point of that last clip was to say, are you getting annoyed by that ABS light yet? It comes on when I get moisture, you know, like a lot of road spray and stuff back in there. Of course, it's been on today because it got wet and then froze, so whatever's on there's on there. But we get thawed out, we get down south, get thawed out, that'll just vanish. So anyway, if you're wondering, ABS. Quick update for you, y'all. It's about 9:30, I think, right now. You saw that weather radar clip. It looks like to me I have until about midnight-ish to get clear of Omaha. You saw I'm at Sioux Falls now. I can't remember how many miles it is down to Omaha from here. 90 to 100-ish. I don't know. Hour and a half, 2 hours maybe. I think I'll make it, but I'm going to keep pushing south past Omaha because when you're this close and you're like, there's just no reason to just park in it. There's someone flashing their lights at me. Sometimes when I'm out on the road, I get a lot of friendly light flashes, like flashing their clearance lights. A little recognition. Hey, hello, fellow trucker. Anyhow, cross your fingers, but I've just been, the whole day, the story of the day has been just creeping by the skin of my teeth. So, I am hopeful that by the skin of my teeth, my little ivories, I will also get by this storm. Alright, y'all. I don't think I've ever been so excited to go in the cave. Oh man. Oh, and the best news of it all, down here in Missouri, actually. Man alive, that was a long day, but we kept our nose to the grindstone, and we made it happen, y'all. Beat that storm. Probably only took 6 months off of the end of my life, running as hard as we have this week. I'll be curious. I'll probably give you a mileage report when we hit the end of the week, kind of see where we're at. Monday night to Monday. I left Monday night, technically, or Tuesday morning is when I started my journey. So I guess I still have a little ways to go yet before I get my mileage total, but we are maximizing our time. We'll just put it that way. Y'all, I can barely keep my eyes open. I'm actually I'm not like sleepy tired. I'm just like wore out. A lot of mental stresses getting in front of that storm, but we made her down. Everything up above us is getting it. And I just parked at the very bottom end. We might wake up to a 1/2 inch of snow or something here, but I think we got her. All right.